Okay, so I the way I started with the flower essences is I went to see Amy and her partner Paul for some healing, and I showed up a mess, didn't I? And Amy introduced me to the flower essences, and she actually let me sample a few before she did her Reiki session on me. And I was just blown away by the experience I had. I really wasn't expecting anything so quickly. And I just remember when she was doing Reiki on me, at one point, I was seeing so many different things. And I normally don't see much when I meditate. And I try to meditate a little bit when I get Reiki sessions done to me. Um, and I was seeing all these different swirling colors and different images, and I was astounded because normally for me it's either just plain black or I might see some blue, and this was like my own little psychedelic show that was going on in my head. And at one point I remember this more than anything, it got so bright. It was like a white golden light, and it had like sparkles and almost glittery, to the point I had to open my eyes to see if the sun was shining through one of her windows. And I kind of just peeked my eye open a little bit, and no, there was no sun coming through the windows. It was what I was experiencing while I was meditating during the Reiki session. So even before I left her house that day, I was like, okay, I'm ready, sign me up. So I've been taking them ever since. The first one I started with was increasing light quotient, and wow, just so much has come up for me for healing, and it's happening so quickly. And at first, I didn't even know what was going on, and I talked to Amy, and she said that, yep, that's the essences. It kind of speeds you up and puts you into this mode where you're healing faster than what you normally would have. So as soon as I understood what was going on, I ended up ordering the Spiritual Purpose Solution Kit, because I am in a place right now where I feel like I need to take my career to the next level, but I'm still unsure of what I need or want to do. And a lot of the essences in this kit, I know through Amy and just reading online, are going to help me work through what I need to work through to get to that point of moving to the next level. So I'm right now taking the increasing light quotient. I'm still taking that. I'm taking the spiritual purpose solutions. And I'm also taking Stalwart, because I tend to put things to the side. It brings out your spiritual warrior, and I will let Amy discuss that a little more, but it's easier for me as I go along to decide what it is I need to work on, and then I can pick the essence that will help me do that. So that's kind of my story, how I got started. I would say I've probably been on them for a little over a month. So it hasn't been long, but the effects and what I've accomplished in that time is amazing. So I'm behind these 100%, and that is why I've decided to do this webinar, to pass on this knowledge and these products to other people. So I will give it over to Amy because she's the wise one, and she can let you know what these are all about.
All righty. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for taking time out of your day to be here with Angie and I. I do sales and customer service with La Vie de la Rose Flower Essence, and my customer service is not your typical customer service. So anytime anybody that is using the essences has things coming up, has questions, I'm here for them to go ahead and assist them in their journey with the flower essences. So a little bit about La Vie de la Rose. La Vie de la Rose is actually a women's collective. It There is a group of women that have been dedicating their life, they're in service to humanity to help humanity raise consciousness. And the founder of La Vie de la Rose is Dr. Natalia Rose Scott. And I'll talk about her a little bit more a little later. Let's focus on the flower essences. How many of you have actually used flower essences before? Okay. I don't know if I can.
I've used box remedies before.
Okay, so you're used to Bach. And Christy, have you ever used flower essences before? Okay. I'm not sure. It sounds like maybe the phones at times are doing these noises. I'm not sure. So anyway, so our flower essences are different. And I'll start with what are flower essences. And flower essences, a lot of times I have people that think that our flower essences, that they're essential oils. And they are different than essential oils. There's no smell to them in the way of essential oils. They're made differently as well. So your flower essences, they are grown. We actually grow our own. And the flowers are then picked at the right time when you can tell that the flower has reached its enlightenment stage. And Natalie actually handpicks those flowers, and then she makes the flower essences. So it's taking the flowers and you submerge them, you put them in water, and you're putting the essence of the flower into the water. And we have a protocol that Dr. Natalia does follow, but that, of course, is proprietary information. But the whole idea is she makes the mother tincture. The mother tincture then sits for a time in the sun, like all flower essences when they're made. They sit for a time in the sun after they have been put into the water. And then our mother tinctures do, okay. So your mother tinctures will then, our mother tinctures sit for a year plus 1 day. So they really emerge into coming into their own. Then the mother tinctures actually get made into flower essences. And we have a couple people at La Vie de la Rose that does that. So all the women that are dedicated to serving at La Vie de la Rose, they are all hands-on. They work in the gardens. They work with the flower essences, making them. We have people in sales. Michelle does sales, and Dr. Natalia, she sees clients as well as doing the flower essences. And our flower essences, what's really unique about the garden is the flower essences grow in the Garden of Love. The Garden of Love is in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And the flower essences that come out of there, the reason why they are the way that they are is because of our gardens. Our gardens are set up in esoteric ways that it helps the flowers reach enlightenment. So there's our sacred geometry, your numerology, the work that's done in the gardens that, is all organic. The flowers are all taken care of very meticulously. And what we are doing is we're supporting those flowers to reach enlightenment. So once the flowers reach enlightenment, then they're ones that Natalie is guided by spirit to say, okay, this is ready. So we have flower essences or mother tinctures that are made that we don't know what they're for. Natalia just knows it's time to make them, and she'll make them, and until the guidance comes to what those flower essences are for humanity, they go ahead and they sit and do their thing until we release them. So also in the garden is we have some ancient artifacts that are from around the world that are sacred. So there's also an energy vortex there on the in the gardens. We have a spiritual center there. There's 4 houses on the property. So one house is the Livy offices, and then upstairs is a little temple. And women that come for private retreats, just themselves, stay in that apartment upstairs. And then we have, there's Natalie and Jonathan's house as well. And then we have a beautiful, beautiful temple, the spiritual learning center that's there. And we have a rose house that's under construction on the inside that we're making into a retreat center, a group retreat center. And also down the road, probably an education center as well. And the gardens, everything's set up for healing. So a little bit of information on Dr. Natalia. Dr. Natalia is a sexual abuse survivor. Her father is the one that abused her when she was a child. And when she went on her spiritual path, when she started to awaken at the age of 28, she started having memories of the sexual abuse that had happened to her. So she ended up in counseling. She's originally from Toronto, and she was with the best psychiatrist in the area. And she'd been working with the psychiatrist like 4 to 5 years. And the psychiatrist was like, I don't know what else to do for you. And at that point in time, she was studying pain management for her to try and get her some pain management relief because she was in so much pain from the trauma. Well, Natalie said, I went home and I went to the masters. I'm like, that's not good enough. I want to heal. There has to be a way to heal. You teach me how to heal, and I will teach the world. So her mission is to help women with their trauma, women and children. There's also men that she assists as well, but it is more women than anything, and it is with trauma. We all have trauma. Every single person has trauma. But what might be a trauma to Angie may not be a trauma for me. It's all in our own way, and there's multiple layers to that of what would specify a trauma. For someone, that I have been around, a trauma for her that put her into anorexia was listening to a person that was a dance instructor saying to the whole class, we don't want any little Miss Piggies here. And it was never directed directly to her, but she took it as it was, and she ended up anorexia, where every other girl that was in the group didn't have that issue. Mm-hmm. So, something can happen to me that would really upset me and trigger me because it reminds me of something from way back. I may not remember it. I may not see the ties right away. So everything that is with our flower essences is to help women and children and men. I do have some men that are actually taking flower essences as well, and helping them raise their consciousness so they can be supported to go through their healing in whatever stage of healing that they are. So our thing is we accelerate spiritual growth. These flower essences are made they're cultivated in the way to the flowers reach higher consciousness. So when you take our flower essences, what you are actually taking is your higher consciousness vibrations is what's being put into your subtle energy field. So, like with Bach, if you're used to taking Bach or you know of Bach, you normally go, oh, okay, well, I have this that's going on with me, and I'm going to take this flower essence for the prescribed amount of time. So it might be, like 4 weeks. Our flower essences are made to be able to take forever because you're just constantly putting in higher consciousness thought forms, the subtle energy forms into your energy body, so it keeps raising your consciousness up and up and up. So one of the biggest things that you'll see is when you start taking the flower essences, your perceptions are going to start changing. And it's beautiful because you're going to be able to see something in a totally different light, and you'll start to see it from your perspective, not so much everyone else's perspective. Yes, it helps to get other people's perspectives, and we all have our friends, we have our mirrors that are going to help us, but also, for you to be raising up in your consciousness. So this is what the flower essences do. They raise consciousness. So we say we accelerate your spiritual growth. You choose the path, and we'll help you accelerate. So what Dr. Natalia her lifetime work has been about raising consciousness, but it's a brand new paradigm. Where she's coming from is the prior paradigm has all been about getting balanced. All the yoga, the Reiki. I mean, what are we doing with Reiki? We're balancing people's chakras. That's one of the main things of Reiki. Yes, there's so much more to it, but that is the first thing that's done for the most part. Is your grounding, the balance. Your yoga. A lot of your yoga is all about getting in balance. And what she's seeing is at this point in time is this new paradigm is ready to come out into humanity where, okay, now you have your tools, you know how to be balanced and grounded. So now let's get to true feeling, not emoting, but true feeling. So with the essences, they will help support you to be able to get to true feeling. And with that enlightened aspects of consciousness that's coming in, you're going to be able to move faster through maybe things that are holding you back, like obstacles. Normally those are things that there's healing to be done around them. And they just keep working at these subtle levels, and you'll see changes with yourself over time. I can share my story with you guys about the flower essences. I've been taking them for 4 to 5 years. And when I first started, it was, oh wow, this is something. My mentor at that time had read about these flower essences, I think in some magazine, I can't remember what it was, and she got the guidance that she was supposed to start miracles and to help me, and that I was to let her know when I was ready to take miracles. So what had happened was I was sitting there with a card deck, and the card I picked was miracles. I'm like, okay, that's my sign. So I called her, let her know, all right, I'm ready to start the miracles. And during that point in time, I was married, and my husband was not at all open to the things I was doing. So every night I would listen to, you're this, you're that, blah, 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 someone's manipulating you, you're gullible, and just constant barrage of things. And the marriage wasn't that good to begin with. And I'm going, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I don't know if anybody else on the line that I'm talking to has gone through that, but you play the game for a long time back and forth. Is this right for me or not? So I had made an appointment with a divorce attorney, and I was still playing the game in my head, wanting to make sure I do the right thing, and how's everybody going to look at this if I get divorced, blah, blah, blah. So I did I started the miracles. I did a meditation, and it was one of the rare times I actually heard another voice. It was not. I normally, how I get my messages is I just know or I feel what other people are feeling. So this was loud and clear. All you got to do is ask him if he's kept you for you. And well, that's easy. Why can't you do that? So a couple days later, we were leaving my parents, and so I asked him, I was like, "Hey, do you think you could? Do you accept me for just me?" And we had the biggest fight we ever had. So I had my answer. You know, what he was telling me was, I want you the way that you were when I married you. I don't like this new, what you're becoming, all this stuff. I don't like it. And I'm like, well, then we got a problem here. So I kept the appointment with the divorce attorney, and here I'm not married anymore. And the miracles is about relationships. And to me, that was a miracle for myself, not so much that I ended up divorced. Now, I've healed 2 past lives with my ex-husband. So there's been healing that's come out of that, and I actually have a decent relationship with him now, and we've talked about some things. And so there's been a healing just in a different way. Our relationship is really a karmic relationship. We were just repeating a cycle from one of a past life. Now, he doesn't agree with that, but I know it to be true, and at least it's true for me, and the healing was for me. But at that time, just using the miracles was the miracle in the relationship. To me, was my relationship with myself. And what was I not accepting of myself at that point in time, too? I wasn't accepting my own guidance that I knew, and I wasn't comfortable in that. So miracles will help with relationships. It also helps with mine. I have someone in one of my gatherings that what I did was I had everyone pick a card from the Oracle deck, and she picked the card Miracles. And at that time, she had a family situation where she was holding a boundary line with her daughter, but that she wasn't able to see her grandkids with holding that boundary. And what had ended up happening was her ex-son-in-law called her and said, I think it's important you have a relationship with your grandson, so I want you to see them. And that happened while she was taking Miracles, right when she started, because she took a small dram, and these are drams. We have a kit that's all 30 of the drams. So I see people get results right away, taking the flower essences, and then over time. So there's lots of stories that I can share that are my personal stories, and also from other people. Over time, I started taking more of the flower essences, and there were different releases of kits that happened as my time was following Dr. Natalia Scott, and my mentor was in conversations with Michelle and knew about the different kits, and then us as a group worked with the one kit, and then one of the other ones you just got as you wanted. And then over time, I ended up using them solely with myself on incorporating them into my gathering. And then I ended up going to the Garden of Love for a private retreat, working with Dr. Natalia. And then from there, I take all their flower essences. I take all of them every day, twice a day. So I'm very familiar with every single one of them, with taking them, and helping people with things that come up. And not what I want to make clear is it's all beautiful. Everything that ends up coming up, it's all beautiful. Any healing is beautiful for each and every person. And there's some wonderful things that happen. With magnetism, magnetize my sole purpose. My sole purpose is to be able to help assist in healing of women and children around the world. And here I am working with Levine. So, magnetism is beautiful, and our perfected manifestation. So what we are about is helping everyone keep going and do what your purpose is. So one of the other, have I answered enough questions on what the flower essence is, how everyone understand how they're accelerating accelerating your spiritual growth?
Sounds like a little motorboat.
I know, and I'm like, I don't know if that's like a yes, or So, there's definitely, you can still hear me, Angie?
Yep.
Okay. And so, with the flower essences, like I said, they're made to be taken over a period of time, and you'll just continue to see more and more growth. So I'll talk a little bit about our products. We do have a base 30, which we've taken ones from our base 30 and they've been put into kits. So what's nice is we do have an oracle card deck, and that, what I have found, has been a way to introduce clients to the flower essences and to also learn about them for yourself. So having the oracle deck can give you, like you pull a card and then you read about whatever flower essence you picked in our book. So these end up giving you a couple pages worth of information on each one of the flower essences. So if you're really considering using our flower essences and getting to know them, I highly recommend the oracle deck, and the book comes with the deck. It's a way to really get to start knowing the flower essences as well. And we have an Ascension Oracle solution. So that is, with this is a box that comes with a set of 30 drams. So our drams are 1/8 of an ounce. And so you would just take a drop or two of each one, not telling you to take each one of them, but as you work with them. So what I have found is what people will do, different options, is they'll work with an essence, one essence at a time until that essence is done. They'll work with that, integrate with it, and read about it every single day and just kind of tune in with that flower essence. Some people use it as they pull a card, like maybe new moon cycles, and see what flower essence they're supposed to use working during that. The other way is, this is a great way to introduce your clients to the flower essences. So if you're doing Reiki sessions, even readings, you can pull a card and have them take the flower essence before you actually have them read about it, or you give them the reading. And I have found that I've used the drams with even my gatherings, to introduce them to the flower essences. I'll say, here, you've picked a card, and they'll go ahead and get a dram, and they'll work with it just so they can see what it's like. Now, and what I had done was I would sell the dram for $5, and that covered the cost of the kit if I sold all of them. So to me, that was very fair and a way to introduce them where they're not feeling like they have to spend, $100 on something. or have to get a huge hit at first. So it was just an introductory, and everyone was then very open to that. And then I introduced increasing light quotient to the group, and everyone was very open to using increasing light quotient. And the increasing light quotient, what it is doing is it's allowing, you are then allowing more soul infused light to be coming into your consciousness. Okay, so you will see many things start to change, perceptions, things will start opening up that weren't available to you before. So it's helping you raise your vibratory rate to the things that you really desire, to the things that you want in your life. These are things that are your purpose, things you're to serve with. You'll see that start to happen over time with using that flower essence. And I think it's a good one starting people out with, because they might be overwhelmed on what to use. And for any of you that are doing Reiki, the increasing light quotient I give to everybody that gets on my table. So I think it's a good way to start, and it does enhance their experience on the table as well.
Is that what you gave me on my first? Is that what you gave me? Okay.
Yep. Give you increasing light quotient. I had you pull a card too.
Yeah.
So working with both, and then doing since I'm the one doing the Reiki, I will take the same flower essences that I'm giving the person that's on the table, so the client. So that way, we're kind of merging with what you're asking for.
Okay.
That's a way for any of you that are Reiki practitioners. That's the way I'm using it, and I'm seeing results with that. And I think it's definitely making a difference. Now, just like with anything else, to get the full impact is to be using, but it is a way to introduce them. It's the same thing with the oils. I don't know how many people with oils, but I have a background in essential oils as well. And the whole idea with the essential oils is it's a vibration, and it keeps things going. So I could tell people, yeah, you can come here for an energy session, but whatever you choose to do once you leave, that's up to you. And so everything, using at that time essential oils with whatever you're going through, essential oils, using that to keep vibration. It's the same thing with the flower essences, keeping that vibration, but realize our flower essences are a higher vibration. So I'll talk oils, since a lot of people have that reference point of oils. Essential oils is, so oils have a certain frequency. Everything's energy. We all have frequency. But oils are made to, we have ones that the frequency is at the physical, one that is at the emotional, and one that is spiritual. And you're using them for certain reasons, of course. So see ya, Crystal. So with the flower essences are working on the plane of causation, and that's the metaphysical plane. So our flower essences are working on a level higher than our spiritual. So they're going to the root of causation. And that's where you truly want to do any type of healing. And you want to manifest also from that area, because it's what your soul wanted. We all came in and had soul contracts that we agreed upon. At least this is my belief. Okay, so you have a soul contract. You have certain things that your soul has decided to do. And it's two different things. One is what you're here to heal, is one of them. The other part is your purpose, beyond your purpose as in service, okay? And everyone's is different. And your healing, there's all this talk about ascension, 5D, coming out of 3D, and how do we ascend? Ascending is getting off the karmic wheel. So as you heal, that helps promote your ascension. You can go, you can have all the energy work, you can do all this, but if you don't ever address things within yourself and do that type of work, you won't ascend. You'll ascend some in some ways, but not as far as what you can go. So there, I hear ascension a lot, and a lot of people are just take all these classes and meditate. And meditation is great, but use your meditation also to help identify things that are up for you. Don't use the meditation to avoid them, to bypass them and just get the high and feel good. So there's always work. As long as you're here, there's things to acknowledge about yourself, things to heal. Whether it be, if you believe in past lives, it can be past life work, it can be things that are current. And a lot of times our current stuff is coming from those past lives or coming from things, it's our ego personality. And that's part of what we are working on, that soul infused light coming through and ratcheting down, so to say, the ego. With the flower essences, the goal is to keep accelerating, keep going, and there's many different ways, and it depends on where you're at, what you want to do. We do have different kits that I think are wonderful kits that will start. One of them, since I know Increasing Light Potion is very popular, that seems to be one a lot of people even gravitate towards that I see. And that is not one of our main 30. So Increasing Light Potion has been, now we're releasing it in a kit instead of it just being separate. And the kit is supposed to be released this week. And the kit is called Passion and Purpose. And I think it's my favorite. The statements that come with the kit are actually, they're absolutely beautiful. So the kit, I'm going to show you the different flower essences so you can get an idea. I'm holding Higher Purpose. So our flower essences actually have the picture of the flower. And these flowers, these pictures are actually the real flower from the Garden of Love. Dr. Natalia will take a picture of the flowers, and that is what is used in our product. So when you take the flower essence, you're actually tuning into that, and you can tune in by looking at the flower and saying the name, Unfolding Higher Purpose, Bee Balm Raspberry Wine. So the first one in the new kit is Unfolding Higher Purpose. And I think that speaks for itself, and I don't have to go into that. Captivation is the next one. Beautiful flower, beautiful rose. And Captivation, Rose Bewitched. And this is about being captivated by your soul. So what's that soul desire? And that captivation of working through your soul, being one with your soul. And then Divine Inspiration, Tulip Toronto. This is a brand new flower essence. We just released this, introduced it in a class in Toronto in the wintertime, I guess it was. And so this is in the kit, Divine Inspiration. Then your Increasing Light Potion, which is lavender Hickcoat Blue. Then Magnetism, and that's a clematis. And then Perfected Manifestation. and that is Lily of the Valley. So the passion and purpose, let me just read a little bit of that so you can get an idea of what the whole kit's about. Any of our kits, they actually come with cards that are empowered prayers or declarations. So this is the Passion and Purpose Solutions, expressing your divinely inspired self. So it's about you are a divinely inspired creation. Your essence reflects the passion and purpose of the universe. Passion and purpose pulse through your being. Passion and purpose are part of the matrix of your essential self. Your purpose is to create an ecstatic life. Your passion is the energy through which you do this. The Passion and Purpose Solutions elevate you to a life where your sacred self is fully activated and expressed in all you do. These flower essences lead you to the freedom of your spirit and the wild frontiers of your soul. So let me read the empowered prayer for increasing light quotient. So it will give you an idea, and I think this is beautiful. So it is, I am a being of light, an exquisite expression of my soul. I utilize the light of my soul to transform my life, removing all obstacles from my path as they arise. I achieve my highest aspirations, attuning my vibratory rate to the level of my desires, dreams, and intentions. Through the light of my soul, I am becoming a master creator, capable of commanding the outer world. I resolve all challenges and manifest all I intend by opening to ever greater infusions of soul light. I allow the radiance of my soul to shine forth through my consciousness and my life. I experience the expanding reality of my soul at all times. I live in a moment by moment state of bliss. So very beautiful, very uplifting. If you want me to read any of the other ones, Angie, I'm more than happy to read any of them if there's one you want to hear.
What was the new one that you said?
Divine Inspiration.
Yes.
Okay. It says, my soul is infinitely creative. I am now expressing the bounty of creativity available through my soul. My passion and purpose soar as I open to creative inspiration and access the magic and mystery of my divine self. I surrender to the creative process. I dance to the rhythm of primordial sound. I experience the wild frontiers of my heart. I move from the unmanifested to the harmony inherent in nature. I continually let go of control so that something new and unexpected emerges. Everything in my life is a creative endeavor, and my passion is expressed in untold ways.
Oh, that's pretty.
So they're all done in a row in a way, and they just keep building.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a new kit that we are releasing this week. Another kit that is out that I thought would probably be good with this group would be the Summer of You Flower Essence set. And that is Commitment to Self, which is Rose Gemini. So I don't know how well you can see the rose. Human Essence, Hardy Lily, Butter Pixie. And Spiritual Time, Rose Love. This kit is about self-love, self-care. So I'll read Commitment to Self. I can read all three of them if you want me to give an idea on that. I think you posted them online though.
I think you're right. There's a post there because I know a couple people were interested in, well, not this kit exactly, but what they were looking to achieve.
Yes. And the Summer of You, I think the Commitment to Self and the Human Essence is about our body, body awareness, allowing to just release and let some of the stuff be, to knowing that your body it's your vehicle for your soul. and respecting your body in that aspect of that. And then spiritual time is really about being in the now, knowing that there truly is no such thing as time. It's something we experience in the 3D. And that at times you got to disconnect, just be in the now and kind of flow. There are times when to do and times when not to do. And knowing that, and also your priorities during that time. A lot of times are, how long's your to-do list? And are you really, really getting any benefit out of that to-do list?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes our busyness is all this to-do list. Where are we really serving our soul by doing that? Now, I do understand we all have things that have to be done. There are certain things that must get done, but it's a prioritizing of them. I think you find when you are more in alignment with your soul, some of those things that were on your to-do list are going to be easier to do because you don't have the energy for it, and it won't take as long. Or you'll manifest somebody else taking care of that for you in whichever way that might be. You know, you might end up with someone that will cut your lawn for you. You know, might do an exchange. I have someone that cleans for me. I do Reiki for that person or a raindrop for that person instead of the actual money exchange. And so that way, to me, I'm serving my soul by doing the healing work, you know, do it that way, the healing work. And then she's able to get a benefit from it that would help her. And chances are, if she got the money, she wouldn't spend it on that. So that's why it works out. This way, she's getting that for herself. Where if she has the cash, it's got to go to pay a bill. You know, in that aspect. So it's all about spiritual time, you know, getting out of the whole frenziness of time in and of itself, you know, and seeing what's really important. So that kit's great for the self-love, commitment to self. That's a start. I'll go into the Soul Infused Leadership Kit. That kit is wonderful. That's one that I've done with my own gathering, with the women. My gatherings focus on self-love, self-care, getting into your empowerment and living authentically, which has all been a process for me, and I'm still learning, and I'm still in a process, but aren't we all? And what I found is our Soul Infused Leadership Kit. What that is about is leading from our soul, not from our ego. So some people see that leadership and think, oh, well, I don't want to be a leader in the community. I don't want to take that. No. That's not what it's about. It's about leading your own life from your soul instead of your ego. And the Soul Infused Leadership Solutions, Dr. Natalia actually even wrote a book that goes with this. And the kit is 6 different essences. And the essences are commitment to self, willingness to heal, commitment to heal, detaching from external power, and power balance, and transcending self-importance. And they are...
Which kit was that again?
Soul Infused Leadership.
Okay.
So the commitment to self that is in the Summer for You kit is in this kit. And these flower essences are not one of the 30 flower essences, our base 30. These are in addition to. And so the Soul Infused Leadership Solutions, I'm just going to read it from here. The spiritual curriculum for the age of Aquarius represents a radical shift from the past, offering us the opportunity to develop soul-infused consciousness at an accelerated pace. Those who embrace the opportunity are the leaders of the new age. They are the transformers who, in cooperation with those with whom they serve, solve the challenges of our time and create new evolutionary pathways in all walks of life. The accelerators of emerging leadership quicken the development of the emerging soul-infused leader. The soul-infused leadership solutions hold the new patterns of higher consciousness associated with these accelerators, thereby supporting accelerated development of soul-infused leaders. So when you'll be leading from your soul, and what a leader is going to be different. It's going to be, for one person, it could be, a community. Angie, you have a community. So you are leading in that aspect. Other people, it's leading within their family. It's leading from your soul with it for yourself. And then everything just keeps going. So this kit's beautiful. This is one I made sure I incorporated into my gatherings. And I'm going to incorporate at the end the passion and purpose. And for those that want to work on our trauma recovery solutions at a deeper level and want to work with that, I will incorporate that in with my group as well. So I just feel from other people, in the group where everyone's at and what would be good when I'm working with a group. Now, I do have some people that are in my group that are on the trauma recovery solutions, and that's through either working with me or some of the people that are in the group have actually done private sessions with Dr. Natalia. The other flower essence that I wanted to talk about that you did put on the Facebook account is contact. So contact's a rhododendron. Contact's wonderful. This is about telepathic communication. It's opening up to receive your higher frequencies, also allowing you to interpret the energies that you're receiving. It fine-tunes that. I can see that myself. I'm really more aware of the energy that's presented to me. I know when people are faking something in front of me, even if they don't know it. I can feel that. And communication, yes. With the people that are doing readings, this, I would say, use. See how it improves your readings. You want to fine tune into your own messages that you're getting from spirit. That will help as well.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
And working with the nature spirits as well, that works. This is one, if you're doing this type of work, I'd say definitely do the contact, because that's one where you're going to see differences. I think it's important in the beginning that we identify essences that are going to help you facilitate what you want in your life, and that you want to see a difference with something right away. So part of what I do is with the intros, this is the first intro I've actually done that's been on a webinar. So normally when I do intros, I have people pull cards and we talk about what cards that they pulled. That way it allows some guidance, and that way people can start experiencing something that's working for their life right now. One essence right now. And then there's always, when I'm set up, people go, oh, you have this and this, and then there's stuff that just automatically draws you. So there's all different ways. The other two kits that I pulled to talk about during this time, I think are also one. I felt that this one is a very good start. It's our base kit, and it's the Spiritual Accelerated Solution. This has our angel wings, divine flame, and miracles. These 3 plants form a triangle on the property. It just happened to be that way. And so they are ones that you actually take full dropper pulls instead of just a drop or two. These divine eminence are the ones that you take full dropper pulls. All the other ones you take a drop or two morning and night. These are full droppers morning and night. Now, what I also tell people is use your intuition. If all of a sudden you take that dropper and next thing you know you've taken the whole dropper, well, then I think that's what you needed for you. That was what your body wanted. And this kit is a great kit for starting your spiritual acceleration. So I'm going to just read from the card, and that way then whoever would order, they'd also have this information too. Is the spiritual acceleration solutions are interventions in the human energy system. They generate instantaneous spiritual feeling that immediately express as shifts in perception that allow you to transform your outer world in the moment. The spiritual acceleration solutions are tremendously supportive of long-term spiritual growth processes and are ideal in healing and relationship crises. So during times, like if you're working with a certain flower essence and something comes up, what I will tell people when they call me and reach out and go, what's going on? I'll say, take more of it to help keep it moving and keep going. Sometimes people want to stop. Oh my God, this is coming up. No, don't stop. Keep going. Keep moving through it. And I'll help people with that on a one-on-one basis. And not everyone experiences something like that, but I wanted to touch on that because of the card with what it said. The other kit that I felt, I don't know why, we have other kits, but this one I felt like might be a good one to touch on, was the Body Soul Alignment Solutions. And this is about accelerating the spiritual healing of body-based issues, body image, physical imbalances, and weight. So this is, and I'll read the card too, so you can have a little bit more of an understanding. This card also comes with all the different affirmations or powered prayers, declarations for each one of the essences. This one is the Body Soul Alignment Solutions, assists in creating optimal physical health through spiritual healing. They address body soul alignment issues, for example, body image, eating addictions, underweight, physical disease, at their source. They support the release of denial and suppression patterns and the healing of core emotional, mental, and spiritual wounds. The goal is to place the body under the direction of the soul and to use the body correctly as an instrument for soul expression. This is another kit that I find is a lot of women can resonate with this as well. So one of the other offerings that La Vie de la Rose has is Dr. Natalia does offer private sessions. She'll offer sessions via Skype, where you can have a one-on-one time with her if you're feeling guided to do that. She also does private sessions that would be for one person, 5-day retreat. And that is at the Garden of Love, so you'd be able to be in the garden and experience that, which is absolutely beautiful, and you're in a healing vortex. There's also group retreats that she holds as well. And it's nice to have your private, and it's nice to have the group. I've done both. So with the group, there's this dynamic that ends up forming, the mirrors. and it's really interesting to sit back and watch it, and also know you're part of this too, and to see and everybody's at their different levels of understanding for one thing, and for all of it, but it all comes together and everyone rises up out of the whole experience of the group. And you still get your your one-on-one time with Natalia in that what is really up for you. But even though what might be up for you may not be exactly what's up for the other person, but there's a piece of it that the other person can learn from. So, or they get triggered from it. So, it can be um, a beautiful experience and a lot of bonding with other women. So, intimacy. Dr. Natalia is very much about intimacy, and it's intimacy in a totally different way than what we think about intimacy. I think a lot of us think about with intimacy, I know I was there. Well, I'm being intimate if I'm talking with you. If we're talking, we're conversing, laughing, that's intimate. Not totally. Being intimate is really saying what's coming from your heart, what you truly feel. And I feel a lot of women we have problems coming out and saying those things because we've not been in a safe environment to be able to express that. You express something and you're told, oh, you're too sensitive, or, that's not right. That's not true. You have that wrong, and you possibly can't feel like that. There's all these different things where Dr. Natalie is very good at holding space, and there's no judgment. She imbues unconditional love. I've never experienced anybody like her. It's divine. It's wonderful, to have someone who has, done extensive work on herself and then has helped many, many women. She's been doing this for a very long time, 30 years working on herself. And she has her doctorate in spiritual counseling. She spent a lot of time in China working with the women there in China. And, so she heard it all. The women in China have had a lot of depression there. And there's a lot of abortions, or you have your children, and if they're girls, they just feed them to the tigers, and things like that. These little girls, these babies are just left on the side of the road. It's just how things that are very precious are just totally disregarded. And the trauma there. So she just holds this incredible space. And I don't know anyone that has walked away from interactions with her that never go, oh my God, wow, I've never felt so safe or loved, and she's just being, and she's not attached to your feeling or anyone else's. There's no codependency on that. She's here to provide a service. So right now, with group retreat, people stay in hotels at this point in time, which leads me to a GoFundMe project that is being set up by Kathleen Baker. She owns Serenity Through Sound, which is in Mechanicsburg. And since I know you two are local, Kathleen does sound immersions and sound healing. She works with the gong. She really works with the metals, the Himalayan singing bowls and the gong. And Kathleen has experienced Dr. Natalia's workshop when she was here at Ricky's, and has done one-on-one sessions with her, and has also done retreats at the Garden of Love. And Kathleen had been working on herself for a long time, just like I had. And when you work with Natalie, you're like, oh my God, I'm finally getting to the source of this. I've been dealing with this on these outer fringes, but now I can get to the source of it, and so much faster. And Kathleen has really felt that she wants to give back. So she put this GoFundMe together, where what it is we're funding, we're asking for funds for women to go on retreat, to do a group retreat, which is passion and purpose is the theme of that group retreat. And we just want to pay it forward. We've seen so many women that have come in that have had these blocks. And once these blocks are removed, they're able to start going out and doing their purpose. Even if one step at a time, one step at a time. And it's a beautiful thing. And Kathleen wants to be able to help some women that do not have the financial means to be able to go on retreat. To go on a private retreat with a group retreat is $1,500 per person. And then you'd also have your hotel expense and your food expense. Where this GoFundMe is set up to cover the retreat, your hotel, and the food expense. And if we raise more than that, we'll do something to figure out with traveling. Just depends on how that traveling is being done by each individual person. So we're looking for two things. One is those women that want to help other women that are willing to donate whatever they want to the GoFundMe. It can be $5, it can be $100, it could be $500, it could be $20. It's whatever you're called or feel to do. The other thing we're looking for is the woman out there that says, oh my God, there is something here. I want to move forward, but I can't afford to go out there at this point in time. I can't, they may have children that they're paying for, just that whole circumstance. And we want those women to fill out the applications. So once the applications we receive the applications, we have the funding, then the people will be chosen. And that is reviewed by whichever group of women from LaVie that will be with that, but also Spirit will have the final say on which women are the ones that really truly are ready for this, and this is going to help them make a big leap in their growth and in their life and be able to do that passion. So we want to pay it forward because we know that there are women out there that are being held back by whatever that is. And all they need is that little bit and they can take off. We want to pay it forward. So that's another thing that we are working on as well. There's a lot of unconditional love in La Vie de la Rose. So with our essences, just using the essences without experiencing Natalia face to face, you're still experiencing her by the flower essences. Because part of making those flower essences is also the person's consciousness that's making them. So there is that energy that forms in. So there is that unconditional love in these bottles as well. There's that wanting to help women. Right now, and she has said, I fought for myself to be able to get to the healing. Now I'm fighting for all the other women out there. And that's what we as a collective are doing. So we're more than just here, take your flower essence. Truly, it is about serving humanity, raising consciousness, serving women, helping to empower women, and helping women to live authentically. That's your true power, is living authentically and being authentic and getting there to know what is authentic for me. And I think that a lot of us women, certain points in our life, we can't even answer that. We can't say. You know, we know what's authentic for us at that point in time, but this authentically, the capital A authentic, you know, living from your soul, and everything else will come. Do you have any questions so far? Things you want me to touch on that I didn't touch on? Questions?
I think Christy's going to be the winner of the free bottle, though.
Do you know what that free bottle is?
Yeah, do you have your eye on any, Christy?
Oh my God, I was sitting here jotting down things as you were going. But I think most interested is the one you both recommended that you said was pretty popular now, the increasing vaccination.
Okay.
But yeah, there's quite a few of them now.
What card did you pick at Amethyst?
I think it was Perfect Manifestation, the Lily Valley.
Uh-huh.
That's the one I picked. So that new kit sounds quite interesting as well.
Yeah, because I was going to say, if I make some recommendations for you, maybe your free bottle to contact and get the new kit, Passion and Purpose.
Okay.
Because that has increasing electricity in it. That could be a way. Are you interested in using the content?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I know the kit is going to be up for sale this week.
Well, I'll have to keep an eye out for that.
And the kit either comes in a half ounce or a 2 ounce bottle. And from what I know, unless anything changes, is the 2 ounce kit is going to be on sale as well when they announce it.
Okay.
And that would be your best benefit. Our half ounce bottles, so you know, our half ounce bottles are $15 retail. Our 2 ounce bottles are $38 retail. So when you do the math long term, it is more financially beneficial to get the 2 ounce bottle if you're going to use the product. So something should be released, I think, tomorrow.
Okay.
On the new.
I'm already on the mailing list as well, I believe.
Yes, yeah, I put you on the mailing list because you were at Amethyst. And, you know, since you were here, you know, order through Andy's online link. Okay? Do that order through there since you're here.
Okay.
So you go to her website, which Andy, tell us the website. You're mute. Andy, you're on mute.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't have it up on my site yet, but I do have a link in the group.
Okay. All right.
She can just click on, and if you have any questions, just PM me, and I can set you up with whatever it is that you want to order. Yeah, I think I might be starting my own separate page, my own web page for doing the LaVie and my readings. So for now, I'm just posting in Facebook.
Okay. All right. Okay. And your card was Perfected Manifestation, and it's right there. Those two essences are there, and what you can do is you can. And does that kit resonate with you, Christy?
Yes, it does.
Okay, all right. And what you can do with things, like when you get the kit, you can start taking all 6 all at once, and that's what some people do. Some people like to start with one essence and take it for maybe a week, and then add the next essence and take both of them for a week. You know, it's like their experiment, or just to get used to the energy as well. So you just play with it and work with it as you want on that way. And if you have questions, you can always contact me. I'm going to go ahead and give my number here. That way, if anybody watches the recording, they know how to contact me as well, because of the customer service piece. So my number is 717-385-4902. Again, that's 717-385-4902. And I also, my email is Amy, and that's AIMEE at lavidelarose.com. So it's Amy, AIMEE at LAVIDELAROSE.com. No, thank you. There. That way, any questions people have, I can help them with. You know, I'm here also to support Angie, so you can go to Angie with questions, and if Angie needs assistance, she can contact me as well to help her along. It helps her learn about the essences as well. Yeah. So feel free, filter either way. I'd like to give both options. That way, whatever people are comfortable with, they have.
Right.
Anything else? Did you want me to pull a card for you, Christy, or are you good?
So why not?
Okay.
She's been such a trooper. She needs a card.
We didn't do any of that, even though you pulled one last Sunday, but we'll see. And Angie, if you want me to do one for you too, I will. Then that's up to you.
Okay.
Okay.
I had a reading done a couple days ago, and it just kind of confirmed everything that you were telling me, and with the essences that I'm taking, I just sat there and laughed, and I was like, I'm not laughing at you or the reading. It just makes total sense.
The card I pulled for you was Unfolding Higher Purpose. And that's in that kit.
Oh, Christy.
Confirmation.
Yes. So right now you picked Perfected Manifestation, Unfolding Higher Purpose, and Increasing Light Quotient was one you wanted. So there you go. That's 3 out of the 6. You're welcome. All right, and well, wait a minute. Hold on. Christy, what do you want to do?
What do I want to do?
Yeah, what do you want to do?
I feel like, I think both of you know this, I feel like I have this block in there. It's like I know I'm ready to do something, I want to do something, but there's something stopping me.
There's something stopping you.
Yeah.
Do the application.
I do have that on my list. I haven't done it yet, though.
Do the application.
Okay.
Yep. You do anything with herbs?
I just started this week working with them.
Oh, okay. All right.
I just went to a local herbalist that just opened a shop in bought a whole bunch of herbs and reading up on
There you go.
them.
I think that's a good start there.
Yeah.
Right. What shop did you go to, may I ask?
It's in Steelton, Herbal Essentials.
Yep, I've been there.
Yeah, so I've been reading up in some books when I went there, and they have every single thing I was looking at. So, like myself, I think Angie as well, like have some medical things going on that, you know, medical profession can't exactly figure out. And so you start wondering, is there more in the spiritual aspect of it that may be causing some of this?
Okay. Yep.
That's what I look into, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Your body soul alignment kit too. There you go.
Like I said, I was jotting down a list.
Yes. Yes. But yeah, the herbs, I think they'll be good. You know, sometimes what happens is we practice on ourselves first. So keep with that. You definitely have capabilities within nature remedies. It won't just be herbs, but you're going to start with herbs. So, yeah. Are you spending time outside?
A little more and more. Like I'm more of the moon baby versus the sun baby, so.
Okay. Yeah, night. Okay. Flames. All right. Yeah, get your sun though. Get out there sun-wise also. And I pull contact again. Looking at you, so. You got stuff with nature, definitely. And it will keep evolving. Start with you first. Tinctures. Are you gonna make some tinctures with those herbs?
Yeah, so I need to learn up on that or find a class where they can teach me how to make them.
One step at a time, but yeah, there's some tinctures there as well.
I
Alrighty.
actually have some info I could forward to you on that I found on Pinterest of all places, how to make tinctures and all that good stuff. So I'll send it to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you both.
You're welcome. Any questions, Kirsty, before I tap out?
I can email at the moment.
Okay. All right.
So I do have your email, so.
Okay. All right, my dear Angie.
Okay, well, I thank you for doing this. I know it was just us three, but I really think a lot of people will probably come back and watch the recording. So.
Yep. Do you want me to do a cool card for you?
Oh, no, you don't have to. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But yeah, if you guys don't have anything, I can I'll probably have it uploaded to the group here within the hour.
Okay.
Then I'll just post it. And Christy, I will follow up with you about getting you that free bottle.
And also, with the group, if any of them want to contact me, they're more than free to do that. I can work with some of them one-on-one if they want. If they want some type of guidance, like what I did with Christy, I'm fine to do that.
Okay.
And any questions, they can contact me as well.
All righty.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Sure.
Being a part. It's a pleasure.
All righty.
We will see y'all later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.